Hello. I know nobody has joined my live here yet. I kind of just have done it a little bit spontaneously here, but yeah, I hope everybody joins in here soon. I'm just getting ready. I just have got my board ready and everything here. So I have some good news, guys. Today, ICAR is back up, which is the international, let me get the, hold on. It is the um, International Center for Abduction Research. So they are back on, which is great, and I'm really happy because they have some good information there. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and greet all you guys and take all of your questions at the end here of this segment. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to put my phone down to where I can talk with you guys. Moment. Just trying to get this in a good area to where I can, okay. Okay, so I want to kind of, okay, sorry. I know this is kind of probably looking backwards right now, but so types of alien abductions. You know what, I might actually just hold the phone while I do this, might make it easier. Okay, so types of alien abductions. Now there's three types of alien abductions that usually occur. So the first would be an aware abduction, which is where you are fully awake and you are communicating, where the aliens want to communicate with you and you are aware and awake. Number two is an unaware abduction. Now, an unaware abduction is where you're either fully or partially asleep. So with the unaware abduction, yeah, it's usually you're not really going to know too much of what is going on with an unaware abduction. Now for a night visit, that is usually a visitation, usually where you are sleeping, and that will usually be a short-lived visitation, and it's not too long. So I like to call that a night visit. So I like to say when the aliens and entities go ahead and, hey, hello, Ray Lee Jones vlog, hello. So when they go ahead and decide that they want to do a night visit, it's usually just a short-lived, that'll usually just be a visitation. Now in unaware abduction, which is, oh, hey, Rayleigh. Oh, thanks. All right, so with the unaware abduction, and I'm going to be teaching this class today for, I'm going to be here, I think about just an hour or two. We're going to see how this live stream, how it goes, how long it goes and everything. So, yeah, so with the unaware abduction, usually what'll happen is they will usually do that. You'll usually be drugged or partially, like, sometimes you'll be partially asleep, but you'll still be a little bit awake. And you will be able to know what is going on. You'll still be a little bit subconscious aware. They've lately been doing with the abductions for me. They've usually been doing the partially abductions. And thank you for the beautiful smile comment, really, thanks. So what they will do is they will do a unaware abduction when they don't want you to really know that you're being abducted and what's going on. So they've usually been doing now the unaware abductions with me, to where they are doing, medical tests and other kind of things while you are asleep or while they have drug. Because you have to remember, the aliens, they have different pharmaceutical medications, drugs, they're all that they make, different technologies and stuff like that. So that's how that all works. Night visit, yeah, short-lived. Okay, now I want to talk about the testing. So testing here, and I've written a lot about it, and gonna try to go through all of this with you guys. I'm not so good at holding the camera, sorry. I kind of got this little $1 phone stand, but I don't know, I'm just gotta still learning YouTube and all the camera stuff. So basically we're just going to talk about this and kind of, I was going to try to see if I could put the board in with the background, but yeah, so we'll see here. So the first thing I want to talk about, the kind of testing that'll happen during an abduction. So the first thing that the aliens actually can do is they can do something called mind scan. Now, I'm so happy that I have gotten all this information. I went ahead and printed this out because I had been looking for this information for so long. I had kept checking and checking for iCard, the website, to be back open, and I'm so glad it's back open. So now mind scan is it's a staring procedure that the aliens will use, reptilian aliens or any extraterrestrial will use mind scan. And mind scan, what they'll do is they'll stare at you, and the next thing they can do is they can enter your mind and they can see what you're thinking, what's in your mind, and what you're thinking about. Now you will notice that many of us who are being gang stalked and are targeted individuals, this is actually, it is really non-human entities and reptilians that are doing this. So when you feel that you're going through V2K and things, you know, somebody reading your thoughts and stuff like that, that is reptilians. They are using mind scan. It's called mind scan. And that is how they are able to see what you're thinking and what is in your brain and mind and all that. Okay, now next on the board, we're going to look at envisioning. So envisioning, this is actually exactly what I have been looking for so long. This is the word that I was looking for and what I had been looking for and trying to find on eCar's website, because it's really a big thing, this envisioning. Now, with the envisioning, what they'll do is they will place an abductee. They will place images specifically for an abductee to see. Now, let me go ahead and just go back to this paper here and look at the extras in there. So during an envisioning process, what they will do is the aliens will place images. So with my envisioning process, I was put onto a it was a table I was to lay on, and the weird thing is it was like a CAT scan machine is what it actually looked like, that I was in front of. Almost was like a kind of CAT scan machine. There was a monitor in front of it, and then there also was a monitor on the side which the aliens could look at and could see what I was doing through this envisioning stimulation. Now during this envisioning, what they will do is they will put stuff that you can view, like type of put you, it's basically like they're playing you like a video game, but you're laying down and you're asleep, or you're not asleep, but you're awake, but your mind is, they're going to put something on your head, and then what they do is they start putting these images in, and that's where all of my stimulation exercises came from. Mostly was these envisioning process. So what they'll do is during envision, they'll do even like little things, like they'll even put you through like a walk through the park, or you know, just routine scenes of just routine life they'll sometimes do. And they'll put also visions of like cataclysmic events like war, earthquakes and disasters and stuff like that. And that's one of the that was many of the envisioning stimulations that I was put through. I remember being in a car with young Pharaoh, and then we had to drive through the city. We had to avoid potholes in the city that we could not, you know, that you had to actually psychically realize, okay, where to go in the city. It was a lot of interesting kind of like stimulatory exercises, more for like end times is what it was. So that was pretty interesting. Okay, I'm gonna look at the message here. Hold on one moment. I saw your library stalker stream. That was crazy how they're, yeah. Oh yeah, trust me, I am very glad to be right now in this room where there's like nobody, it's a room, so it's like I kind of have a little bit of peace here, which is good, so that's nice. So okay, so a little bit more about the envisioning, and there's something also, training and staging, which is similar as well. So the training and staging is similar to the envisioning process stuff there. Okay, now let's talk about the egg and sperm harvesting. So another thing that they will do if you are an abductee and they have abducted you is they will do some egg and sperm harvesting. I gotta put my phone down. Oh, my arm's getting cold. I mean, my arm's getting... My arm's like, holding this phone too long. Okay, so, yeah, I'm just going to look at this really quick. Hold on, let me see. I need to get back to the... So, firstly, it starts with, you know, a removal of clothes. That's the first thing that they usually do. That's the first step, is they remove the clothes. Okay, and then they have a waiting room. So the clothes are removed from the abductee apparently for 3 reasons. Number 1, it facilitates the procedures that the aliens are about to do. Number 2, it helps prevent the spread of infection and disease to hybrids. And 3, it prevents the stealing of instruments and other artifacts. So I wanted to talk about that as well, because, you know, I had kind of made that video where I had said that, what was I saying? I was saying that the humans can contaminate aliens and aliens can contaminate humans. So that kind of ties in a little bit with that. And that's what, this is something I had read this years ago, and I had remembered that. I was like, oh my gosh. So, here, let me take a seat here. Okay. So, that was that's what they do next. So they remove your clothes is usually with each and every one of these abductions. That is the big thing here, is removing clothes for the first step. Now, let me get to the second page. So then they will approach with instruments for examination procedure. So let me go ahead and read what that says. So what they usually do is they will closely examine the brain, the spine, and other specific neurological sites. So I noticed one thing that they really did a lot was they focused a lot on my like vertebrae and my parts of my brain and stuff like that. So that's something I think they really focus on, different like vertebrae, spine. So things that connect your central nervous system is what they're usually testing on and touching on and working on and all that stuff. You know, that's what I learned and had noticed. Now, let's see. Aliens stare into the eyes of abductee to connect to optic nerve and mind scan procedure. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this really quick. Mind scan is a staring procedure in which alien peers directly into an abductee's eyes from a distance of a few inches or less. The abductee cannot close his eyes or avert his own gaze. When asked what is happening in the abductee's mind during this procedure, the abductees report having a variety of emotional states and seeing images. The evidence suggests that the alien is neurologically engaging with the optic nerve and is using it as a conduit through the brain and into other neural pathways. The alien can then generate whatever emotion or image he wants the abductee to experience or see. Okay, very often mind scan is linked to egg harvesting. The alien prompts sexual stimulation to a high degree, and then at a specific moment begins an internal procedure in which an egg is harvested. Because of the intensity of the experience, abductees often mistakenly report that they and the alien have merged into one person, or that the alien wants to experience what it's like to be human by this procedure. They have also mistaken mind scan for having sexual relations with the alien. Interesting. Wow, this is pretty interesting. Hold on one moment. I'm gonna see if you guys had questions. Let's see. Oh, okay. There's somebody named Ryan here. Okay, hi everybody who's joining. Yeah, I'm gonna answer everybody's questions at the end and everything. For sure, but I do want to go looking at this, and with the optic nerve. I actually had an implant put into my optic nerve. So that was during the day that I had this guy went crazy. He put stuff all in my brain. I was implanted all over my body, and an implant was also put in one of my eyes as well. Hey Michelle, hey everybody, what's up? Yeah, what's up? I'm just doing a little segment here on abduction, and we got some good e-cars back up, so I'm so happy. There's like all this good information now, and whoo-wee. Okay, so there's another thing talking about the mind scan procedure administered while sperm is taking. So they are taking sperm from males as well as from females. So it says sometimes abductee women are brought in for sexual relationships with men. These are sperm collection procedures and do not reflect any particular interest in sexuality by the aliens. So yeah, that's just a little segment from this here. Okay, and then let's talk about how they remove the eggs and the sperm. So it says that this is a thing that aliens take the eggs and sperm from people on a routine basis. So it says this happens a lot, that this is really common. So this is a common thing here. And then it's saying for women, it involves the introduction of instruments that take either recently matured eggs or invade the ovary for follicles. There is some evidence to suggest that the aliens can accomplish rapid egg maturation and release through mind scan for harvesting purposes. Harvesting can be accomplished at any age. Yeah, so with the harvesting of the eggs, that kind of procedure, I had noticed more so when I was a child, noticed more of the egg harvesting. And when they do this egg harvesting, I know that they put something, I don't know what they do, but I know there's something that you can specifically feel within like your ovary almost. And yeah, it feels really weird. Okay, I'm gonna look at the chat real quick. Let's see. let's see. Different types of aliens. They put them in condoms, dry freeze them, and then mail them. What? Hey, Battle Angel. Hey, everybody. Yeah, what was I thinking of there? Oh yeah, different types of aliens. Speaking of that, I am going to make a segment also about different types of aliens because I have a whole list of like alien races. There's like a lot. I think there's like 60 or more alien races. There's a lot of them on this whole like listing, so it's a ton. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is fetal implant extraction, which was on the list there. So, one of the things that the aliens will also do is they will also sometimes they will get a woman, and then what they will do is they will get a woman pregnant, and this pregnancy will be just short term, like a short term pregnancy that they're just having the fetus grow for just a short amount of time, and then they go ahead and then they decide to take that fetus at an early stage before it even like develops or something. And they also do something called incubatorium. That is the next thing on here, and that is what is on this list here. So the incubatorium, they take fetuses of fetuses from, it says even the men's sperm as well. And then what they'll do is there's a special room where they have these containers of these liquid, and this liquid will contain like the fetus's sperm and eggs, and the aliens tell the abductee that one or more of the fetuses is the abductees. Why the aliens conduct this viewing is unknown. So it's a lot of things going on with a lot of like hybrids being made and stuff like that. And yeah, so before I get to this next page, I'm going to go and see if you guys have any questions. One moment. Oh, okay, you guys are just chatting in there. Cool, all right. Yeah, I'm just still learning this live stream thing since I'm still like all new to all this. Okay, so there is something, okay, so talking more about the alien human hybrid breeding program. So the next thing on this segment here was hybrid baby with enlarged black pupils. So now frequently women are brought into a room filled with babies in special holders. They are required to have skin-on-skin contact with the baby, and if a particular procedure has been performed during the examination phase, they are told to nurse the baby. Abductees describe the babies as looking like a cross between human and alien. They say they are hybrids. The babies are phlegmatic. I don't know. Okay, so PHLEGMATIC. Okay, phlegmatic. And do not have the reactions of normal human babies. So yeah, because I noticed that the baby didn't really cry. I'm going to talk more about the childbirth I had and stuff, but one moment, let me finish reading this. Okay. Often abductees think that the babies are sick. The evidence seems to suggest, however, that this is their normal state. Men and children often have skin-on-skin contact with the baby. So this is very true. I know that when I had the baby, I was given the baby to nurse the baby, like breastfeed it and everything. And then I remember then they took the baby away. They took the baby to like another room and everything. And, it's really interesting because, yeah, the babies, they do look a mix of human and hybrid. But on the ship, when I had seen the baby looked more reptilian when I had the baby when I was 16 years old, that childbirth I had, that I was 16 years old, that I really vividly remember that one. And yeah, so I also noticed, let me see, what was I reading here? Yeah, I also did notice that the baby, it did not cry. They didn't like cry, or it wasn't like, not exactly like human, but you could tell they're like a human hybrid mixture. So yeah, so that's really interesting. So the next thing that they'll also do during an abduction is, let's see, there's a segment here. Human child plays with hybrid children watched over by a gray alien. So humans are taken into a special room where they encounter hybrid children aged 2 to 10. As the hybrid children grow, their contact with humans becomes more complex. As toddlers, they engage in play behavior, often helped by the abductee, who is required to teach them games to play. They are sometimes seen playing with specific toys. Human children are required to play with the hybrids as equals and also teach them games. So that sounds a little bit more like the there's that other video I had made where, you know, they have a certain area, like deep underground military bases, where they have a lot of children and hybrids and these experiments going on down there. So yeah, that's this is interesting. This is so much information. Let's see. Oh, just looking on the chat here. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, feel free. You guys can ask me like anytime anyway, so it's cool. Anytime. And okay, so now going more into this. So this is, some of this is talking more about the hybrids that are living more so in the deep underground military bases and on the ship. So the next thing I'm going to look on here is the personal projects hybrid. Yeah, personal projects hybrids. Okay, so abductees report that some hybrids have had ongoing complex contact with them since they were children. They see the same hybrid many times over the years. The hybrids age at the same pace as the abductees. Their relationship is usually reproductively oriented. Sometimes abductees have a very positive feeling towards their personal project hybrid. Others have extremely negative feelings about what they consider hybrid abusiveness. Some personal project hybrids are exclusively interested in human life and relations. None of them are interested in human political or institutional aspects of the society. So yeah, this is kind of interesting. Interesting to me because I don't know personal project hybrid. I don't know exactly if I know of that, of a personal project hybrid. Oh, that's interesting. Well, anyways, let's get to the next segment here. Okay, neurological procedures. Okay, well, that just talks about the mind scan again, then the envisioning. Yeah, we went through that. Okay, images on a screen train abductee to perform tasks. Sometimes the characteristic scenes of devastation or mundane life are presented on a screen. Often they are accompanied by staring procedures conducted by the aliens while the abductees observe the screen. So that's another form of the testing. And I'm trying to think of if I remember that. But I definitely remember, okay, staging. See, the next one is staging. I remember the staging. Abductees will be required to play out a charade in which they are made to believe that some prearranged events are occurring and they must interact in the scene, which they believe to be real with aliens or other abductees. This might also be a neurological procedure for future activity. So a lot of this testing and these tests that are done and that were done on me and being done, we're testing in the event of like disasters, Armageddon. Like it was like a lot of this was a lot of preparation for like Armageddon, and this was at the same time that I had been spoken to that there was going to be an earthquake, that there was going to be the brown reptile was telling me all the stuff they were going to do. He said they're going to shut down the power grid, they're going to shut off the water. He said they're going to do all this stuff, and that don't go to any FEMA camps or anywhere that they say to go to get safe or whatever like that. So a lot of that was a lot of the envisioning and the testing that I was put through. And yeah, being put in, being in the car and then also having to navigate roads. And a lot of it was also psychic testing as well, testing of my psychic ability. So when I was driving that car and young Pharaoh was in it, there was like earthquakes happening all around us. There was, it was chaos, and we were in California, and it was like, so I was driving this car, young Pharaoh was next to me in the car. And I remember there were due to the earthquake, there were tons of potholes in the road. There were so many potholes everywhere. And pretty much, if you went down the wrong street, you were effed. You were effed. And so what I had to do during this envisioning process was I had to use my psychic ability to navigate through this road. And somehow, I don't know how, but I was able to find the way to get on the streets that did not have these big potholes from this earthquake and these disasters. So a lot of this staging and testing and training, I feel like it's just been a lot of preparation for Armageddon, and I'm pretty sure they may be doing this with other people. I'm not sure, but it looks like to me, seeing this whole all this stuff from ICAR, the International Center for Abduction Research, that this is so interesting to see because when I went through this, I didn't know what was going on or what was done or anything like that. So yeah, this was interesting. Yeah, I'm just going to check the chat and see. You have done your research. I just got back from Dublin. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. I always wanted to go to Ireland. That's cool. Let's see. Did they take you to another dimension? I think that they did take me to that planet with water that was all water. They took me to that planet. That was one day, but that was just a damn. I see. There's another. I don't want to call it an unaware abduction, but I want to say it's like almost like a travel kind of. Sometimes like I would be taking like I'd have it where I'd be asleep and then I'd like it would seem like a dream, but it wasn't really a dream. But I just know that I woke up and I was like swimming in this. It was all water. And then there were dolphins and there was like a whale next to me, like an orca and stuff. And it was just all water. And I knew that I was on this like planet, the one that is all water, that only water. Cause the thing is, they know I love water and I love to swim and stuff like that. And like dolphins and stuff like that. Cause that's actually also represents Syrian, but I have to get more into the Syrian stuff and like Palladian and talk more about that in another video and stuff like that. But yeah, it was so interesting to me. So yeah, so the 5 dimension stuff, like the different dimensions, yeah, I do want to make a video about that too, because that is it's really interesting. It's so interesting. But I do have some other stuff that I'm gonna talk about after all of this here. But I just have 2 more things on this thing here, which is the the testing. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the testing. So abductees are required to sit at a console and operate an electronic-like device for a specific goal. It might be keeping a dot between lines on a screen or pressing the correct button upon hearing a tone. These are thought to be neurological training procedures for future activity. And the next thing is miscellaneous procedures. There are many other procedures that abductees report. Most appear to be in the service of the alien specific goals for their program. Some of the procedures that abductees report include being trained to rescue both humans and aliens. They report being trained in crowd control and pacification. They report learning how to work alongside hybrids doing abduction procedures. They are told they will know what to do when the time comes. So that's very interesting right there. Yeah, because actually when I had gone through all of this testing, all of this stuff, and had been going through these freaking abductions at this form of time, and I want to say this was about 2016 or right before the 2016 election. And yeah, it was like all this stuff going on. And that was in the brown reptile taking me. He had told me all this like political stuff going on and telling me all this everything. And he basically had told me like everything that was going to happen. And he told me that all this stuff was going to go into chaos. And he told me that I was going to know what to do. That was like the main thing that stuck to me. He's like, you're going to know what to do, that you have this stuff in your DNA already, so that when Armageddon happens and when shit hits the fan, he said that I already know what to do, that I already know how to do like all these karate, like, you know, special martial arts types of moves, that I'll know exactly what to do when it comes to survival, is what he really had spoke to me about. But I do know that when I was put through this envisioning and a lot of this training, I know that it really was upsetting. The alien was getting really upset and kept on actually torturing me with, I'm talking electric shocks. I was being electrically shocked whenever I didn't do the right thing during the stimulation or whatever, that if the alien felt it was done wrong or something like that. Because what happened was I was put through this stimulation where basically it was a bunch of people had arrived. We were basically being taken over here in America. There was I just remember like these Middle Eastern men had these rifles or something. They were either Middle Eastern, I don't know what they were, but they had these rifles and they were chasing us. I was with my mom and my sister, and then my mom, like, I don't know if we had rifles in our hands too. I think we had guns. A lot of these stimulations, sometimes we had guns put in our hands, and it was interesting. So I remember running, and we were running, me and my mom were running, and then my mom had got shot. I remember turning around and going to my mom, and the next thing I know, I'm being electrocuted because he told me that I wasn't supposed to like turn around or anything like that. So some of these stimulations, like they will get upset at you during these kind of envisioning and stimulations and stuff like that, and they'll it can be kind of torturous. There's a lot of different kind of interesting also envisioning things. I'll also put you through like seeing like even I don't know how to explain it, like interesting, weird, kind of funny things. So anyways, now that we've spoken about all the abductions and stuff like that, you guys can go ahead and ask me any questions that you have. All right, any questions you have? I'm just getting this other stuff ready here. Hold on, okay. So I have some other stuff that I wrote down, some other topics that I definitely would love to talk about here today while I have this live stream going, because I think we're getting some snow, so I probably may not post a video in maybe a day or something. So I don't know when I'm gonna post again. So I'm glad I wanted to get this all done today. And it's all windy outside and all messed up. So I'm just like, oh, I just want to like just kind of be inside for a minute. It's nice to be inside right now. Okay, so for the little random topics to talk about here, so I want to talk a little bit about the semi situation, about semi. So this is really a sad situation because now what you can see online is you can see he's now being, there's now people that are commenting that are saying it's like a hate crime and stuff like that. And the thing is, a lot of these things are being done so that what can happen is they can then go ahead and then go on and take a target and then use it for like political or different kind of things and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of this stuff is, I think politics are also behind a lot of it too. Politics and there's people that are pulling the strings, pulling the button. I mean, we're basically being played like video games almost. And that's the thing that I was, when I made my video yesterday where I'd spoken about the fact that they're putting stuff in our minds. And now that I had just gone through this whole lesson here and had talked to you guys about the mind scan, and they can go ahead and they can enter your mind. So these reptilians, these non-human entities can enter your mind. And yeah, a lot of targeting is being done. And the thing about it is a lot of this targeting, it's being done to certain bloodlines. And one of the things is if you don't know what your bloodline is, which I 100% don't really know, but from what I'm finding out and the thing that I've been told is that a lot of people have a special bloodline, and this is what they're really after us for. So with me, what I think that what my real like blood, I think I'm Cherokee is what I think I am. Because it's interesting because I pretty much once I had this is so interesting. So I was in Delta. I was like at a lake and I eat liver raw. I don't know. I know this sounds crazy, but I just started eating like raw liver. I don't know. It just tastes really good. And I know that's something that ancient Cherokee would eat the whole liver, like the raw liver. It's interesting because I didn't even know about any of this, but I know that these two women were just like whispering saying, oh, she's Cherokee. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like, I don't know. Because I've never known, I know that I've had some Native American human being, but I don't know what tribe or whatever. I don't know. But then this other guy was a gang stalker and he had come up to me. He had a white car, everything. And he said to me, are you Cherokee? I'm like, I don't know. Like, he said, well, you look like you are because you have high cheekbones. Like he was saying, high cheekbones. So the thing is that a lot of these people who are targeting us, they already know your bloodline. They know who you are. They know who you are. That they know exactly who you are. And that's the thing is a lot of us, we don't know. Some of us don't know our bloodline or know like what our tribe is or anything like that. And yeah, they pretty much already know. Now for the white people that they're targeting and they're gang stalking, I don't know what bloodline they are, but I do know from what I've seen is they're targeting a lot of Irish. A lot of Irish are being targeted, and I'm trying to think of the other one. I think they might be targeting some Dutch people. It's certain bloodlines that they're after, that they're going after. So yeah. So for another random topic to talk about is now let's go back into these reptilians. So these reptilians, now a lot of them have been around since ancient times and they're still alive. The thing about these reptilians is they live about, I want to say 400 years or more. Their lifespan, even some of their lifespans, I think are 1,000 years or so. So they've been around a long time. Now, if you have been gang stalked and you're being targeted and followed or going through abductions or anything like this, there's most likely a possibility that you also are like me. You also are an ancient being, an old soul. Okay, so you're an old ancient being, an old soul who is reincarnated. Now, a lot of people have reincarnated. We all reincarnate. Some people don't believe in it, but a lot of people are here that are reincarnated. And there's also, there's good beings that are reincarnated, and there's evil beings that are reincarnated. So the thing is, these people remember you, and they know you. They know you already. Even before you came out through the ethers, they already know where you are. They know where you're coming, because the thing is, they're in control of a lot of this stuff. And the thing is, a lot of them, if they've abducted you, a lot of it is because if you're an abductee like I am, where you've been abducted frequently, usually it's because some part of it is because you also can understand these beings. They speak a different language, and they also speak telepathically. Now, some humans are telepathic. Not all people are telepathic. But then I've heard some people say that humans aren't telepathic at all, but I think it all kind of depends. It really depends. So the thing is that they can communicate telepathically. And a lot of us who are being targeted, that are targeted individuals, yes, we do communicate telepathically. And this is actually going to be our survival mechanism when shit hits the fan. Because the truth is that this language, all this speaking, all this English and language, this was all actually, these systems are all actually, it was created by reptilians. We never spoke with language. We actually started off as genderless beings. We were actually completely genderless beings until the reptilians came and passed us through these caves to separate us from man and woman through gender. But truth is, we really started off as genderless beings until they did all this. So language, all these systems have been created by the reptilians. Okay, so when it comes to survival, yeah, we will be able to communicate telepathically, and we will be able to talk that way. So when they're, because you're not going to be able to talk voices when they're all trying to kill you. They're going to hear your voice and hear you talking and stuff like that. So, that's one of the things that is so awesome, that we have that ability, and not many people have that ability. It depends though, So this English was created, this language and all this stuff was created. And the thing about it is, what young Pharaoh said, when young Pharaoh had said that the language, like most English language, that most of the words that you speak are witchcraft, like he's right. A lot of it is. And we never communicated at all with like words telepathically. So the thing about it is, if you are like part of the 144,000, you can communicate telepathically. And that's where it goes when it goes to the Bible, when it talks about speaking in tongues, communicating in tongues, like how basically all of a sudden that we're going to be able to talk to everybody, every language and everybody. That goes back to this, that telepathy, being telepathic and talking telepathy. And the interesting thing was, oh man, there was this guy had a YouTube, and he had added me. I don't remember, he was a YouTube, he had just joined the like targeted individual community. He had some good information about the ancient Israelites, like ancient the first people and everything that were first like on the earth and everything, and how eventually the Israelites moved to like Ireland, China, and different areas, different spots and everything. So if you remember your past life, there's some things that you may be able to like remember and stuff like that. Like I have memories of China and Mongolia. I don't know why. I have some past life memories of being in China and Mongolia, specifically Mongolia, like the Gobi Desert, like sunset, something like that. I have a lot of like memories of like just traveling like all different places in the world, and certain places of nature that I've already seen. And some of that goes back, some of that's tied in my past life. Some of it is the abductions, where I've been taken to travel different places. And so it's pretty interesting. But yeah, I do have these memories of like China and Mongolia, but it's pretty vague. But then I have memories of like all these different areas and stuff like that. Yeah, so with the calendars, I want to talk about the calendars too. So there's a Sumerian, Mayan, Celtic, and Babylonian calendar. Now, one of these calendars is the calendars that we're supposed to be really on. And the month that we're really in, I think we really are in, we're actually really, I think 2 months back, or I don't know what it is, but I do know the brown reptile was speaking to me about this calendar, and he had said that my sign, that I'm actually a Libra, but he was saying I actually really was a Virgo, that my sign really was Virgo, because this calendar, he said that I had used to be a Leo. And then he said I had turned into like that. This calendar, I guess, supposedly changed our astrological signs or something like that. So yeah, so that was kind of pretty interesting, really interesting there. So I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit more about. See, I have all my notes written down here today. So okay, so I wanted to talk about back to the alien chat, the alien Q&A. So if you guys want to go ahead and ask me any questions, you can go ahead and ask me. Now, I wanted to go back to how I was saying how the sex with an alien felt like. Now, what it felt like was, it felt like, it feels like somebody's calling me. Really? Oh my God. Okay. That was so weird. Somebody called me. Okay. Oh, hey, Material Man, what's up? Thanks. Yeah, I'm so glad you guys are all here and watching. I'm so happy. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm just so happy I got this information today, man. I'm so glad this website is back on, because I was like, I've been looking for this information for so long. Like, I keep on looking online for just all the like information that they had, and they got rid of a lot of websites with all the alien information had been like removed. So this website, it looks like they just got back up, but this was the Straight Talk section on, yeah, International Center for Abduction Research. So that was awesome. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna check the live stream real quick. Let's see. Reptilians are demons, right? Yep, they are. There's actually a lot of so there's the Reptilians, the Draco Reptilians, there's the, damn, what's the other one? Alpha Thetans, I guess, is the real name for Archon Reptilians. I guess that's their real name, is Alpha Thetans. There's another whole list. Damn, there's even Antarctic Kessovans, which I actually was looking at. Antarctic Kessovans is the aliens that are down in Antarctica. There's a whole list. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make like a segment about all of that eventually. Yeah, there's so many out there. Okay, and then it says the fallen, yep, they're the fallen angel, but yeah, I think they say there's some that are good. I don't know if it's the Arcturians and the Pleiadians. There's some that are not benevolent, some that are non-benevolent, some that have a really good like positive energy, I read. But then again, I hear some people say that there aren't, then I hear some people say that there are, so it's like pretty interesting. Yeah. Oh, Viril, VRIL is another name for the Reptilians. That's interesting. Yeah, I actually have heard that word a lot often, but is that also the name for there are something of these women that grow their hair really long? They grow their hair long to get like messages from aliens, like psychic messages. I didn't know what the name of that was. I thought it was called Vril, but I didn't know what the name was. But yeah, these women that grow their hair like really long and something, but I read they were part of like Nazi or something. Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's where I thought I heard that word. But yeah, yeah. So the ETs, when they come and they talk with you telepathically. Usually is what they'll do. And it's like, you don't even need to like open your mouth or talk or anything. So it's pretty interesting. And they also do remote viewing. And their military is also involved in this remote viewing a lot. And I just had looked at a segment on Orion Mind Project about this Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. And I want to look more into that. I'm going to look up more information into that. But I do see Ohio being involved in a lot of this gang stalking. I do get followed by a lot of cars from Ohio. So I want to look more into that. Because I know these Air Force bases are really, I think, the biggest connection with these reptilians and these outer state. I don't want to say out of state, but some of these out of state cars and all this stuff is all connected to these reptilians, and they're coming out of California, Florida, Ohio, Texas, certain specific states that these Air Force bases already are. And that's where these reptilians are already, kind of, because they have the underground base with the reptilians and then the military, and these militaries are all working together. And it's so interesting to see Orion Mind Project has like all the information on all that. It's just so much information there, which is it's good. So Yeah, so I wanted to go ahead and now we will talk. I wanted to do a color video of the color segments on these cars and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and erase the board and let's get into this segment on the colors of the cars. Let's talk a little bit about this gang stalking and the colors of the cars they're using and some of the concepts of things that they're doing with these lights and all this kind of stuff. Because I got a little bit written down on that, so I just have to erase all this. Oh, it's kind of small eraser. Okay, let me get this pen open here. Hold on. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about these colors of these vehicles as well as the messages they're trying to convey here. So with the colors, I hope this is on here right. I'm trying to get the camera good on here. Oh gosh. Okay, so for the colors, so black is fascism and anarchy. It also represents death, okay? So then when they have the white cars, okay, that is representing surrender. Okay, that's representing surrender and purity. Okay, now with the red cars, okay, red symbolizes war, blood. It also symbolizes communism. Sorry, my writing's kind of sloppy here. Okay. So what they like to do is they like to use these colors. And some of it also, I believe, ties into, they also are using these cards to represent also their alien races as well. I think for certain things, Freemasonic meanings, different, there's just so many different meanings with it, I think here. Now, if you'll notice with the cop car, you'll notice that a cop car, okay, a cop car is black and it's white. Trying to draw, okay, so cop car is black and it's white. So you'll notice that if cop car is black and white, what does that tell you? That means surrender, okay? Surrender, and then that with the black, that means fascism. So if you understand these colors and you start learning about these colors, you start learning the correlation with stuff with these colors. So yeah, so cop car, surrender, and fascism, because both of these two colors are combined with that together, and as well as death, so there's death in it. And then with the white car, they like to symbolize purity. And then if you notice also the black and the white tie into, oh, drop pen. They tie into Freemasonic stuff here. And with the red, there is a possibility that the Alpha Thetans, aka the Archons, are driving these red vehicles. I do notice many of the Reptilians in the white vehicles, but they're not Archons. They're just Reptilians. And I always notice them. They got the brown age spots. They've got the really aged skin, really aged. And I wanted to talk about that a lot of the aging that these reptilians are going through is because of the evil that they're doing, as well as they overwork themselves. They don't really like to have too much fun and to relax and be like, I don't know, they're just a little bit, they have to learn to live a little, basically. So a lot of them are very, very angry sometimes. Now for the lights, let's talk about the lights. So with the lights, what does the light mean? The lights is a Luciferian concept. The lights. There's a reason why they're always flashing these lights in your face. There's a reason why. There's a reason why they're brighting these lights in these cars and why they keep on wanting to show us this one headlight. Now let's go. Okay. So what does Luciferian mean? Luciferian stands for light bringer. So what they're doing when they're trying to flash these lights in your face, they're trying to show you that they are the light bringer, Okay, so when any time that you're in a gang stalking situation, they're bringing these lights into your face, flashing these lights, all that. It's about a Luciferian concept of bringing light because they think that they are the light bringers. Now, with the one headlight that they use, the one headlight, okay, so the one headlight, that goes to the all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye is that's a big thing on the Orion Mind Project. There's a big segment on it where they really talk about this all-seeing eye and the Dark Lords. Dark Lords are the ones who are playing us all, like doing all that are behind all this shit. So that's the thing. So now a lot of the things that I have noticed that is really interesting. Now going to this Luciferian concept with the light bringer, the one headlight and the one eye thing. The one eye, and then I don't know if you guys have heard of that one, the black eye thing, where some of them have like this black eye or something like that. Yeah, so hold on one moment, let me put this pen down. So yeah, this one eye, I'm just gonna sit down. Just sit myself down here. Okay, so this one eye concept thing, fuck, I can't remember what I was thinking of. Oh gosh, no, it's oh, no, that's what I was going to say. Oh, I have it written down right here. Yeah. So I've been noticing a lot of these Illuminati, a lot of them, you'll notice that they wear glasses or they'll show up in glasses or you notice a lot of these people, you'll notice they're wearing black rimmed glasses. Black rimmed glasses. And I've been noticing that you can see a lot of them showing up. Some of them will show up like the next day, like all of a sudden they'll have glasses, like their vision got fucked up overnight. I've been noticing it also with like big YouTube celebrities too, like all of a sudden they just show up the next day in glasses. And yeah, I think it has something to do with a lot of these people that are involved in this like Freemasonic stuff and all this like dark shit, whatever, dark, something like that. There's something going on that's happening to their vision. Like a lot of people I noticed that do like evil shit or something like that. Something's going on with their vision. Their vision's like breaking down or something like that. So yeah, I mean, it's all interesting. It's all interesting. Yeah. All right, guys. So I just, yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up here and you guys can go ahead and ask me any questions. I'm actually so glad to be in here as long as I can. Shit, I have till 4:30, so I don't know what time it is, but yeah, you get 2 hours in here. So I'm just like trying to kind of stay in here as long as I can to not be gang stalked and everything. So yeah, you guys can ask me any questions and we can chat. If you guys want to get to know me or any questions about me or anything like that, I don't mind. Yeah, so I'm just going to hang out here as long as I can because yeah, it's been crazy. I've actually been I've been just applying for jobs like crazy. I recently applied yesterday to the Subway, so I hope I get that job because that's something I really know how to do and that the tips are really good, so I hope I get that job. And then I applied like I want to say like I don't know, like 10 other places. I applied a lot of places and I haven't heard anything back yet, so I'm actually really kind of nervous because I'm like, yeah, things, money, stress, like this gas costs so much. I only have like $170, but I'm trying not to get stressed out like I would. Because, the thing is they financially destroy you. That's what they do. And it comes to the mental, comes really mental because it comes to the point where it's like, when you work as hard as you can and then they like really financially F with you or try to blacklist you or something like that, that's where it gets hard. Because that's where it gets to where I start to feel like, look, I ain't got shit to lose. Like, I ain't got shit to lose. Like, y'all want to take everything away from me. And then so that's like the hardest thing, because when they try to mess with your like way of surviving, that's where it like gets really hard. And, but I'm trying my best to like find a way to make money and everything. And I want to start this business. Like, I want to do this, bring alien abduction awareness, get an office space or something like that to where, we can help other people who have also been abducted and need to talk to somebody that need a therapist and, hypnotherapist as well to also bring back the memories, as well as, I would like to start something for, abductees who have PTSD, maybe to also get EMDR therapy, other kind of specialized therapies, and also a doctor on site to remove implants from abductees, and also information about like different alien races and different abduction experiences. Like, this is something I really would like to do to help other people who are abductees, and to kind of start a business. I don't know. I just try to find a way to make money and whatever. It's just kind of like it's hard also because since I am from an ancient life, I'm from the ancient world, so it's kind of like everything has been really weird. Like I'm used to just living. We live just in the desert with just huts and everything done by hand, and we were able to take care of everything, and it wasn't all like, oh, money and all this kind of stuff. Like, everything was free, everything was like easy. It was like it was a primitive life I came from, so it's kind of like weird being in this modern life. I mean, I know it's so weird. People probably think, oh, she sounds so crazy, like she's talking about this primitive life and she's in this modern life, and it's weird. But it is weird, and I feel like I'm kind of out of place. But I don't feel that way in nature. When I'm in nature, I feel like, oh, I'm in place, and that's like, kind of reminds me of everything. So like reminds me of, like my past life with just being like around nature. There were no buildings, there were none of like anything technology and any of this kind of stuff. So this is all just like really new to me. Yeah. So, so I'm just like working as hard as I can to just try to stay as strong as I can. I haven't like broke down crying as much as I want to for stress, not being able to, financial stress. Well, worrying about a job and all that. But I'm just like, so far I've been, good, just not stressed out. I mean, good, not stressing out. But yeah, pretty much I woke up this morning, the weather made me want to cry. Like, it's just so cold now. And I have fibromyalgia, so my body's like, oh my gosh, it's just so achy. So I wish I had like a hot springs and a massage would be so great right now. It'd be just the best. So I'm just staying as strong as I can to try to work, even though, I told you guys how I was in a lot of pain and physical pain and stuff like that with like my back going on, all that. So I've been able to kind of like get that under control with like taking kratom. There's something called kratom. It's like a natural herb that you can take. And so I just take the lowest dose of that. So that way I'm able to, get my pain under control. So I was able to see the dentist today. Oh my gosh. I saw the dentist for the first time in years. It had been about I don't know how long. It's been a long time, but I got a teeth cleaning. Yeah, so they cleaned my teeth and it was uncomfortable. Like, I just had taken too long to get a teeth cleaning because I just was like doing all this traveling, trying to, getting out of California and all that stuff, and then having to set up like doctor's appointments, and I just hadn't had any time to like get it done. So I finally got it done. So I'm glad. And yeah, so they did x-rays. All my teeth are perfect. No cavities, no problems, nothing. And it was just like a simple teeth cleaning. So that was good. So I'm just trying to like take care of everything and see doctors too and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't know if you guys would want to, I know it's kind of weird. I don't know if you guys would want to come and like start an alien abduction awareness kind of business. Like, I don't know, I kind of like would like to have a business partner would be great or something, or like, like a group of people where we just start this business or something. And yeah, because I know that there's people that are afraid to talk about abduction, and it's a very like, hard thing to talk about. But I feel like if there's more people that talk about it, I feel that makes it kind of like easier to talk about, like, because pretty much, okay, with this abductions, like, I know that you guys have heard my story, as hard as it's been like uncomfortable for me, because it's like hard to talk about. I know that abduction, I know how hard it is to be in the space where it's like you don't want to talk about it because people are going to see you as crazy and it's embarrassing and it's weird. But I feel like the more people that come out with the stories, that maybe eventually more people will feel less uncomfortable and say, hey, that story is similar to my story. Oh my gosh, like, And that's how I feel that that it would be great to talk about. And I feel like in the world, I feel that so many things that aren't talked about and stuffed down, that causes a lot of problems. Like if you notice, like, you know how men aren't able to really talk about certain things, or it's seen as, oh, if they talk about this, it's seen as soft or weak or whatever. And then they have to stuff down a lot of their emotions, and it causes pain in other ways and ends up causing drinking or whatever, you know, kind of issues or something like that, you know, like so I feel like this is something that I really would like to just, you know, bring public, is to talk about alien abductions. And I feel like we're getting more and more closer to the spot of that coming true, seeing as more celebrities are talking about it more. I have to go look back at what Demi Lovato was saying, because I know she was talking about it. So I need to look more into that. And yeah, so I'm going to get ready to wrap up this live stream. I think I'm going to go have a salad for dinner, just something easy. I was going to cook a steak or something, but it's too windy, so I wouldn't be able to like start a fire and cook the steak over the little campfire and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wrap up here. And yeah, and thank you guys all so much for watching, coming to my live stream, man. I'm just so glad that I found this. I was like, oh, I had this idea. I'm like, I'm gonna do a live stream today. I'm gonna get all the information here that I found on this. I had just seen this website up, and I was like, boom, I just had to print that right away. I was like, oh, I have to do a live stream. Yeah. So yes, I hope you guys all have a really great day and a good night. And yeah, and I'll probably post a video in maybe a day or two, or I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I might do another live stream. If it rains or snows, I'm gonna want to do a live stream, because I'm gonna be just like trapped in a mall or somewhere with gang stalkers when it's raining, and I don't know, it makes it kind of hard. So all right guys, well, I hope you guys all have a good day, and thank you guys all so much for watching. And yeah, any questions you guys have, go ahead and you can comment me. Remember, also my email is alienabductionawareness@gmail.com. And thank you guys all so much, and have a good day.